The Yankees' injuries this season have been bizarre, and the organization is taking heat from the fan base. But is the criticism this time around warranted?
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias, and with me, as always, is my producer, Steve Granado. Steve, what's going on?
Oh, we got plenty on a jam-packed Friday edition of Locked On Yankees. Thanks so much for clicking, guys. We appreciate it. Of course, later on, we got to preview the weekend set here against the Houston Astros after last night's win. We also have, of course, Fanmail Friday. We have plenty of questions to get to from our subtexters and just one from our YouTubers here today. So stick around for that a little bit later on in the show. Of course, Stacey, the big news prior to Thursday night's win over Houston was the news that Anthony Rizzo is going on the injured list. Yankees PR tweeting out prior to tonight's game. That's last night. The Yankees made the following roster moves, placed Anthony Rizzo on the 10-day injured list with post-concussion syndrome, and recalled Oswaldo Cabrera from Scranton Wilkes-Barre. So, Stacey, we kind of just alluded to it there a second ago, but everyone online is pissed, right? Like, everyone's mad. And so I wanted to talk about this. Look, the Yankees have a lot of things to be criticized about this year. You can find no shortage of things you want to nitpick and be mad about.
Right.
And this is one of them where I think it's not as black and white as people are making it out to be.
Right.
For a couple of reasons. Concussions are very tricky. This is not like other injuries like a labrum tear.
Right.
You look at the picture, it's torn. You go, well, it's torn.
Yeah.
Go fix it.
Mm-hmm.
This is not like that at all. And I don't think that excuses everything here. But I think we can give at least some benefit of the doubt here that the Yankees took bare minimum necessary steps to make sure Rizzo was as healthy as possible. They gave him the 3 days. He had those 3 games off after he had that conclusion with Tatis. They obviously we physically saw them run through concussion protocols on the field after the play because that's what they're supposed to do. I have a ATC in the family, so I was texting with them and asking about concussions, someone who has worked in professional sports for years. And typically, while they're not familiar with the MLB protocols, they typically they monitor them for about 48 hours. After a suspected collision, like something like that. They would kind of monitor him for about 48 hours. They would run through tests. They would make sure everything's okay. They would avoid painkillers. Like they would do all the necessary steps, right? What's strange about this, Stace, is the time that it took for Rizzo himself to be like, I've done everything right. Like my body feels fine. Something else is wrong here. And maybe that's on the Yankees to be a little bit more cautious about.
Yeah.
That's where I can see the criticism. But for a lot of fans who are saying they did this to him, I think is completely outlandish and ridiculously accusatory. And it makes no sense. Let's just leave it right then and there. It makes no sense that the Yankees would want Rizzo playing hurt.
Right.
Like in that sense, especially.
Yeah. Yeah. Because this is scary stuff. The stuff he was describing, not being sure of how many outs there are, certain pitches that he'd go after, that he would be like, I don't usually go after that pitch. That's kind of weird that I was swinging at this stuff. And just the cognitive impairment phrase really tripped me up when I read that earlier. It's really scary stuff. I was telling Steve before the show, I hit my head in high school and I was messed up for a good 3 days. And, you really have to be careful with that stuff. When the news first came out, I was really hot and really upset about it. But the more I've thought about it, and after seeing Rizzo speak, I'm not mad at the Yankees because, the player sometimes doesn't tell everyone everything.
Yeah.
You see it all the time. I mean, Derek Jeter insisted on playing with that bone bruise, and then his ankle just collapsed under him during that ALCS, and then he was out for pretty much the next year. So I don't know what could have been done differently, but this is some scary stuff. And like you said, you can't really diagnose a concussion like you would with a tear or a break or something that you would see in an x-ray. And sometimes these symptoms crop up later and
Yes.
and then they also last for a while, which is scarier because the Yankees saw this with Clint Frazier a few years ago. He hit his head into the wall and he had concussion symptoms for like 2 to 3 years. So I don't think that's going to happen with Rizzo. I mean, he did hit his neck hard into Tatis, but this is just, it's scary. I feel bad for him because that can't be a fun feeling when you don't really know what's going on with your body, where it's not so bad that you're debilitated, but you know that something's wrong and you're just kind of like, what is happening?
Yeah, especially if you're going through something like this for the first time.
Yeah.
Like it's not like, and especially you got to remember the mindset of an athlete and a professional athlete at the peak of their lives and their athletic ability. Your whole life, you are trained to play through pain.
Yeah.
You are trained to rub dirt in it. You're trained to go as hard as you physically can, no matter what. And when it's something that isn't like, I don't know, I don't think of the brain as like physical in a weird sense, right? It's not like, well, my arm hurts, but you know what? Ice it, ibuprofen, let's go. That's not how that works when it's your head.
Yeah.
So you can understand where Rizzo is coming from. We're like, dude, Judge is out. This team's offense is failing. They need me. And you can totally get where he's coming from, like, well, grit your teeth and bear it, right? Figure it out. Yeah. But in this sense, and that he couldn't really make that connection necessarily, where it's like, we could see it, obviously, where it's like we could earmark this day, this happened, and these are the two stats, right? It just didn't make any sense. But when you're at the plate physically, you're like, no, I don't care about the numbers. I'm like, how am I doing it? But if his reaction time, which is what they found, is slower, he's like, well, that's where it is, and that's what triggered this scene of events, this sequence of events, and again, I don't think it's completely fair to just completely rip the Yankees here.
Yeah, it's just been an interesting couple of days.
Oh, it's been a week, Stace. It's been a week. What a weird week in Yankee land.
They came out, and what did they do on Thursday night? They
won
beat
again.
The Astros. My God.
Yeah, they won again.
It's a
big win last night.
Streak.
2-game winning streak, 4-3 win last night. Stanton, another bomb, 2-run shot. Christian Javier tried to repeat back-to-back fastballs, and that was a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
So Stanton goes deep. Billy McKinney with a fastball that kind of leaked back over the plate. They wanted it down and away, came back down and in, and he just went and got it. Solo shot.
Unbelievable. And he hit it far too. Like, he hit it hard. Stanton's was 430. His was 410. Stanton was 114 off the bat. McKinney was 110 off the bat. I mean, they really hit the ball hard.
Yeah, sure did. And then, of course, Anthony Volpe, big RBI go-ahead single. That was massive. Bottom six. He just gets to a fastball down in the zone. He just reaches out, pokes it, and does what Anthony Volpe does. And, you see the Astros battle back there. Get that big homer off of Wandy. Clarke Schmidt gave you everything that you could have wanted again. Another 5 solid innings with 4 strikeouts and just 2 earned. So it's good to see some fight. It's good to see some, well, I was going to say clean baseball, but it wasn't the cleanest. There was a couple of defensive miscues for sure.
Say, nope.
But in lieu of that, another solid game put together by the Yankees. And that's really all you can hope for at this point.
Did this felt like a game they would have lost like maybe 2-3 days ago, a week ago? I don't know. It felt like it like 3-0 didn't feel comfortable enough, especially against the Astros. And when the Astros tied it, I just thought to myself, all right, how are they going to blow it this time? And they didn't. And it was a nice, pleasant surprise. So big ups to the Yankees. But I was thinking about that because we spoke on yesterday's show about the last game against the Rays being good in every aspect, where they made great defensive plays. The pitching was really good. The offense was amazing. And tonight, defense, there's a couple of issues there, but it didn't cost them too much. Thank goodness, especially that late play with King and second base. That was bad.
Yeah, that was something. And then
that could have been really
decision, bad. Yeah, Glaber at second too. Like second base was an anomaly last night for sure.
Yeah.
But hey, again, they pulled it out 4-3. I mean, that's all you can hope for is to get through those struggles and figure out a way to win, and that's what they've done the last 2 nights. So
fun fact, guys. The Yankees are 6-0 when Billy McKinney hits a home run. Of all people.
And that's exactly how you drew it up in spring training.
Exactly.
Yankees series continues tonight. Of course, they got 3 more against Houston over the weekend. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later on in the show. Of course, we have Fanmail Friday today, so we have a bunch of questions to get to. So let's do that when we come back.
For a championship team, it's all about making sure every player is a perfect fit. It's the same when it comes to your vehicle. Every part needs to fit just right. So the next time you need parts and accessories, head to eBay Motors. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, you can be sure every part you need fits just right the first time around. Just add your ride to My Garage and look for the green check to know the part will fit or your money back. Because just like in sports, confidence is the name of the game when you shop on eBay Motors. And with over 122 million parts to choose from, you'll be back in the game in no time. After all, it's easy to bring home a win when the right parts are guaranteed. Get the right parts, the right fit, and the right prices on ebaymotors.com. eBay Guaranteed Fit is only available to U.S. customers, eligible items only, and exclusions apply.
Back now on Locked On Yankees. Hey, don't forget, the series continues with Houston tonight. You can catch it on SiriusXM. I listened to John and Susan last night because I didn't want to listen to the national broadcast. So you could do that, too, with the SiriusXM app. Of course, coming up on Monday's show, don't forget, to the everydayers out there, Miners Monday. We're going to have a real official Miners Monday, unlike this past week because of trade deadline stuff. So back to regularly scheduled programming. Stacey, it's Fan Mail Friday. We have a bunch to get to. And just as an aside, for the subtexters, a lot of questions about Rizzo. So we obviously answered almost all of those, save the first one here. So just in case you're like, hey, I'm a subtexter, I get priority, it's because we addressed it all at the top of the show.
Yeah,
but
we saw them all.
We have this one here from Juan asking us, do you think MLB is going to investigate the fiasco with Rizzo? If so, can the league use their own doctors in the future and get rid of the ones employed by the team? Also, could it be more that players are injured and are not saying anything? Thanks, guys. Always a pleasure listening to you both while I work during the wee hours of the night. Thank you, Juan, for being a subtexter, and thank you for your question. Stace, I don't think there's going to be an investigation here.
No, because I think it's more the second or third part. Could it be more players are injured and not saying anything? Again, with the Rizzo thing, it wasn't a physical thing. It was more a head thing. And while he felt weird, it's the first time he was feeling like this. He was feeling sluggish. He thought it was from travel, which totally makes sense. For once, I'm not going to blame the Yankee doctors on this one. There are other instances where they make me very angry because things are happening with certain injuries, but this one is tricky.
Yeah, very tricky. I think if anything, they Major League Baseball might take a look again at their concussion protocols, if anything. Yep. And I think that's an ongoing process that's constantly changing and evolving as we learn more about these types of injuries. Just in sports as a whole, the sports medicine community is still constantly learning about this kind of stuff and how to deal with it properly, because let's be fair, for the majority of professional sports, we just haven't cared about this kind of stuff, and that's bad. But I'm glad that they're starting to a lot more. So keep figuring out, keep learning. Yeah. Thank you again, Juan, for your question. Stacey, we got this one here, and we actually got two that are pretty much the same question. This is coming from a new subtexter, Angelino. Fan Mail Friday question: you guys see any significant changes for the offseason as far as the front office? And then Eric, another newer subtexter, said, do you think Cashman is on the hot seat and could be given some other position if the Yanks miss the playoffs? Stace, let's see, any significant changes coming for the front office, do you think, this year?
I would maybe if they miss the playoffs, but I really don't see it happening. I feel like Hal and Cashman are like a longtime married couple, and they're just not going to break up for business purposes because it's easier to stay together.
We're staying together for the kids.
Yeah, or they're staying together for the kids, and the kids are the Yankees. And I don't know.
You would like to, obviously. You would like to see some changes.
Oh, I would, yes.
And 99% of the fan base, if you just look at any thread anywhere. And then in the same vein, do you think Cashman is on the hot seat, or could be given some other position if the Yanks miss the playoffs? I feel like that's out of the question. I don't think that would happen.
No, No,
Yeah.
I think there's a better chance of me being hired by the Yankees in any position than Cashman being fired or reassigned.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
they need hot dog sellers. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Angelino. Thank you guys for being subtexters. Of course, don't forget, subtexters get priority here on Fanmail Friday. Almost all our questions this week are from subtexters. Of course, we also had a more jam-packed show today, so that's just how it goes sometimes. This next one, Stacey, is coming from Adam, and this is a fun one. With the season unfolding the way it is, personally, I'm focusing on other storylines, one being the prospects and AAA guys. With this in mind, what's one pitching and one position player prospect you'd like to see get some run this year? Deep cuts welcome. Thank you, guys. You make my workday mornings manageable. Thank you, Adam. Another newer subtexter. Check it in. We're just pulling them off the streets these days. One pitching and one position player prospect you'd like to see get a deep run. For the last week, I've been saying get Clayton Beeter up.
Oh my God, you took my answer.
I took yours. And I think it's a strategy that I've seen other teams take this year and in recent years of quickly pushing their prospects, understanding if it's worth it.
Yeah.
One, but to see what you got. Yeah. I think that's an interesting strategy that front offices are starting to take. Obviously, these are more pipe dreams, so I mean, there's 40-man moves and stuff that have to be done. Yeah, that's boring stuff. But yeah, if we could just pick them out and let them go. Yeah, no, I'd like to see Beeter get a shot and just see how his stuff plays in the majors. Is he ready fully? No, of course not.
No.
Jeez. He just got called up to AAA, so yeah, he's not ready. And I would like to see Andres Chaparro get a chance. He's 40-man, so that's easier. He's been very streaky this year, but man, when he's on, he's on. And my always caveat is get Flo to the show.
Yeah, I was just thinking Beeter for pitcher, just because he popped into my head, and I thought that would be cool. And for me, I just want to see Austin Wells' mustache up on the major league level, because that's quite a stash, and I think he'd look awesome in the Yankee pinstripes in the stadium. Yeah. Just the way he looks so cool. He looks like he should be in that what is it? Eastbound and Down? Is that what it's called? He looks like a character from that show. So yeah, that's my pick.
Nice. That's good. I like that. If they end up calling like an Austin Wells, that would be either September. You'd have to be 40'd. And then also that or injury, which
I know. Yeah. Again, this
don't want to
is
see that.
Us,
Fantasyland. We're in Fantasyland. We're
That's
just
it.
playing around. Adam, I really like that question. That's a fun one. Let us know in the comment section down below your answer to that. One pitching and one position player prospect you want to see get some chances here in the majors this season. Stacey, we have one more here today. This is coming from Amos George 8124. This is a YouTuber asking us, do you guys believe that the no beard, no long hair policy is a deterrent to players wanting to join the Yankees? I was all for it once upon a time, but now I'm not so sure. Stace, we've kind of addressed this in a roundabout way earlier this season on a Fanmail Friday, but in light of having players go, no, I don't want to shave my beard. Do you think that's a thing?
Of course it's a thing. Guys have actually specifically come out and say, no, I'm not playing for the Yankees because I don't want to shave or I don't want to cut my hair or I don't want to do this. Yes, it's definitely a deterrent. I feel like they're relaxing things a little bit. I don't think we're ever going to see beards. I think the beards are definitely not happening, but I feel like they're letting guys have longer hair. I mean, until Cole cut his hair was pretty long for a Yankee, not quite Jacob deGrom or like a
Noah Syndergaard.
Yeah.
Brandon
like not
Marsh.
like that kind of, oh God, Brandon Marsh. Don't get me started on him. But they're being a little more lenient, although it could be Cole. I mean, he's making $324 million. Maybe they were like, yeah, no, you can keep your hair. It's fine.
Give him the extra inch. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I used to be one of those people who were like, no, I don't want this. I don't want that. Because, some of these guys look like they can house animals in their woodland animals in their beards. And I don't like that. But a clean beard, I would love to see a Yankee with a clean beard. Like these guys grow beards so fast. Jordan Montgomery, I didn't think that boy could grow a beard, and he has one now that he's not on the Yankees. And I think
Ken Waldichuk did that right away after he got traded. It took him like 2 days.
Yes. I know that you can see some guys and you look at them, you're like, oh yeah, that guy could grow a beard in probably 6 hours. But like Jordan Montgomery and no, I didn't picture either of those two guys growing those things so fast. I mean, Joey Gallo grew his within 3 hours of
Oh yeah, that was a
being traded.
miracle. That was a
Yeah.
miracle.
Yeah.
I think I look no further than Andrew McCutchen. Just like, gosh, that looked. I mean, I love that guy to death. He's one of my favorite baseball players of all time. Without a beard, I was like, ugh, like who are you? I don't even know who you are anymore.
Yeah.
That struck a chord with me. Yeah, I'm all in favor of completely abolishing that. I hate it. I think it's lame, and I want to see guys with a beard in a.
George isn't here anymore. He's the one that put it in, so he's the one that made it a thing. So let's get rid of it.
And Team Brandon Marsh. I don't know what you're talking about.
He just looks like he
I
doesn't
love
bathe.
it. I love it. The caveman. It's a great look. Team Charlie Blackmon. Team.
No, you know what it
Brandon
is?
Marsh.
It reminds me of the 2004 Red Sox, and that's like a nightmare for me. So no, I don't like it. Nope. No, thank you.
Hey, that's where we get along. That's where we get along. Let us know in the comment section too. Again, while you're telling us about the prospect stuff, let us know. Maybe we should do a poll of that. We haven't done a poll of that one. We also haven't done a poll in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we ask our Locked On listeners and see what do you guys feel about that. Just like to see. Just a little quick research. We're gonna step aside one more time here on our Friday show. We got one more segment for you guys. We got to talk about the upcoming games here against the Houston Astros. Back now on Locked On Yankees, our final segment for the week. Hey, the Astros series tonight, SiriusXM, every game, SiriusXM. Go to SiriusXM, download SiriusXM, search SiriusXM. Did I say SiriusXM enough for you guys? All right, there you go. Stacy, okay. Friday
night. It's not
night,
that easy to say, and you said it in quick succession there. That's impressive.
Hey, I'm an impressive guy. Hunter Brown versus Sevy tonight. Hunter Brown, young buck, 24 years old. He's pitched fine this year, nothing crazy. Sevy, though. Make it or break it for Sevy tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it. I feel like it. You can't do this all year. You just can't.
No, you can't. No, if you're in it to win it, like we said on yesterday's show, if you're in it to win it, you can't keep trotting him out. You really can't, because it's a guaranteed loss at this point. I'm envisioning
you dig yourself a hole. You dig
Yeah.
yourself a hole that fast, and you go, well,
Yeah.
Now what?
I just, I mean, the Yankees did a nice job holding them to only 3 on Thursday night, because, there were some instances there where it looked like, oh God, here we go. They're going to hit like a 3-run home run and, turning a double play and getting things done. And it worked out well, but I'm really worried about Sevy. But this has to be, if he doesn't do well, has to be the last time. They can't keep doing it.
Yeah, I think this is it. I think this is it tonight. And then it's super cautious moving forward. Like if, let's say he turns in like an okay night, nothing that's like 7 runs or anything like that.
Yeah.
They let him go again. Like it's like back against the wall pretty much every time now, moving out until he has like 5 good ones in a row, which is basically till
the rest of the season.
September. We're in September at that point.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Verlander Cortes Saturday night. This is going to be a fun little ditty we're going to see on Saturday. Of course, Justin Verlander pitched well against the Yankees when he was with the Mets. Nestor's coming back. They skipped his last rehab to make him start this weekend. It's gutsy.
The thing that worries me about this is, Sevy being the night before, Cortes being on a pitch limit. If Sevy has a really bad outing and they have to take him out after 3 innings and then use the bullpen, and then Cortes has to be taken out after 60 pitches, and what if those 60 pitches are only in 3 or 4 innings? The bullpen is going to be run into the ground this weekend.
Sure. Totally could. And the way Carlos Rodon has not been able to get deep into ball games on Sunday.
This is bad. Oh, this is bad.
Yeah, against Jose Urquidy. I mean, I could totally see this weekend turning sour pretty quick.
Yes.
But hey, we're the glass half full podcast here. Maybe not. Right. Maybe it goes okay. I mean, they won. They won last night.
We're halfway to my 2, so my hopeful 2 out of 4. So let's see what happens.
Yeah. So they'll see Hunter Brown, Justin Verlander, and Jose Urquidy over the next 3 days. Hey, it's never easy. But it is good to stop Houston the way you did last night. That's
See, that's a good winning the first game of a series, especially against Houston, and coming off the win that they came off of against the Rays. It's a good thing. Like, it's a good feeling. It's like, oh, all right, this winning thing is kind of cool. Maybe we should keep doing it.
Hey, a novel idea.
Yeah.
They're trying. Jake Bauers is now your first baseman. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. Hopefully Jake Bauers provides some thump. Of course, we saw some fluctuation in the lineup again last night, even with almost everybody the same in the lineup, save McKinney. We saw Bauers drop, and Bauers drop to the front, and then IKF fall to the back for whatever reason. Under the sun, you can find one, I guess. I don't know. It's too late in the week, in a week like this, for us to start talking about lineup construction again.
Yes.
It's too much. We'll see how the lineup figures out this weekend. I'm going to say this much. This was a week, dude. This week was too much. It was. Yes. This is new rule. Yankees, you can only get 2 national news stories in a week. That's really it. I'm done. Yeah. This is too much, man.
It's exhausting. It really is.
This was the most exhausting week of the season.
Yeah.
I am tired.
Yeah. I agree.
Don't watch the game on Friday. Just sleep. Just check on game day every now and then.
Yeah, if you don't have Apple TV, you won't be able to see it anyway.
Well, that's baseball, Susan. All right, that's the way you finish a show on a Friday. Don't forget, you can join our subtext. You saw those questions earlier. Subtexters sent them all in. They get priority. There's a 14-day free trial in the episode description. I say this to you 400 times a week. You guys know the drill. If you hung out to the end of a Friday show, you know what I'm about to say, so I'm not going to say it. We will see you on Monday. That's going to do it for today's Locked On Yankees. I'm Steve Granado.
And I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. And yes, we'll see you for Miners Monday.